Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. In this video, I want to go over my week 2 results of my October 1K challenge. And for those of you who don't know what that 1K challenge is, it's basically I'm taking $1,000 in starting capital and using 2 trading bots that I've made in Option Alpha and trying to grow my account to $1,500 within this month of October. So last week I did really well. And as a spoiler alert for this week, I didn't do too well. So what you can see here is a 30-minute candlestick chart of SPY since the beginning of October. So the first half of the chart is the first week, and you can see the price action of SPY. We're below the 5 EMA indicator for most of the week, and then we cross into the sort of the in-between region between the 5 EMA and the 14 EMA up here in this orangish color. So starting this week of October 9th, we start in between the indicators, move above, and stay up there for a while. And then we start chopping down into in between and below the indicators. So we move from above the indicators to below the indicators. So it was a very choppy week. You can see that by these big candles right here. So how did the bots do this week? Well, coming over to Option Alpha, here are the 2 live trading bots that I have. And let's start with the first one right here. This is my 71020 directional iron fly bot. So if we click on it, we're going to see the dashboard of how this bot has performed so far. And it's performed really well, but this started before the October challenge. So I'm only counting those trades that opened during the month of October. So if we go over to the positions tab, you can see this, we start, I think, down here at the 52 profit. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. So this one right here, negative 103, this was the last trade this bot made, or the last trade this bot closed at the end of last week. So starting with this week, I started off with 2 losses, negative 98, negative $96, 2 wins, and then 1 loss. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. 3 of them were losers. 2 of them were winners. So I did not do too well with this bot. So if we come over to the second bot that I'm using in this challenge, this is also a directional iron fly bot, but it's a day trading bot, and it's only opening trades on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if I click on here, you can see the bot total only has made $13, and it has a 66.7% win rate. So not doing too well. So if we take a look at the positions that closed this week are these 3. So this is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, win, win, and loss. So last week it had a similar pattern, win, win, and loss. So basically, I'm just breaking even on this bot. So I need to have a better than 66.7% win rate in order to become profitable on this particular bot, or using this particular bot. So let's take a look now at some of the trades that I had made with this bot. So let's start with this one down here. This is the one that opened on Tuesday. And again, I'm making YouTube shorts on each of these trades so you can see where I entered and where I exit. But opens at 12:30, and it wasn't getting filled right here, which is why these orders were canceled, but it got filled at 12:30. So that's why it's not a noon entry. So again, 10% profit target, 20% stop loss, but you could see I had a almost 23% return on this for $75. And the reason is because this bot did not close the same day it opened. So it wasn't a day trade, and it held overnight. And right at market open, it was, at this profit right here, $75. So it was well over 20%. So I just decided to close it right at market open, right at 9:30. Now I could have let it, let the bot close it, but the first bot's scanner, they don't run until 9:40 a.m. So I didn't know what was going to happen within those first 10 minutes. I just thought, I'm going to take my profit. I'm definitely above what I thought the bot was going to make. So I just closed it right at 9:30, and I came out with 75% profit, or $75 profit. Second trade opens at noon, closes about 3 hours later, and it's a 10% profit. Third trade opens at noon, about an hour later. This was a bullish iron fly, and with this bullish iron fly, we want the price to go higher, but the price actually dropped really fast. And so I lost this particular trade. $91 was the loss. But what was a little bit frustrating was that it was already at 9.3% shortly after open. And I thought that, oh, this is definitely going to win. But then there was a huge downward move in SPY, which turned this winner into a loser. So this was really close to winning. So coming back to the candlestick chart, this is where that bullish iron fly lost during this downward move right here. So here's a little closer view of what happened on Thursday. So right here, this is where the trade opened. We're above the 5, we're above the 14 EMA, so it opened a bullish iron fly, and it moved up just as we had expected it to. And this is where it hit about 9% in profit, but then it starts coming down, and then it moves down quite quickly, and that's when the bot got stopped out for that position and for that loss. So what I have done in response to this is I now added a new. So what I've done in response to this situation is I'm adding a new exit option right here. And so still going to take profit at 10%, still have a 20% stop loss, but I'm going to add a trailing stop. So if it gets to 7%, then I want to at least lock in something or at least break even. So it's a 7% activation, 5% trailing stop. And hopefully I would not run into that situation again that I did on last Thursday. So at least I could have got out for a small win instead of a loss. All right, let's go back to the other bot and we'll take a look at those trades. And again, this one is a 7 strike wide, 10% profit, 20% stop loss. Although I'm still going between 10 and 20% in terms of take profit. Let me show you the trades that closed. So here's one. This is the first one that closed this week. I lost $98 on it. You could see it got to 13.6% in profit before it went back down. So again, I could activate at 10%. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll need to do that for the trades going forward. I'm not sure yet, but I just don't like these, winners turning into losers. So that's probably something I need to do. Second trade, this really never got into profit. It just went down. So I'm fine with that loss. This one was a winner. All right, so with this one was something else that caused me to make a change in my my bot settings. First of all, I have a 20% profit taking, even though it's named the 7-10-20. I'd like to get 20% if I can, based on some testing that I've done and some other people have done that. The 20-20 works better than a 10-20. I'm still going for that 20% if I can. I've added this trailing stop 15.5, but again, based on the previous trades, I may have to reduce this at least to a 10% activation. However, what happened with this trade is it went all the way up to just over 15%, and the market was nearing close, and I did not want to hold it overnight because I didn't know what was going to happen the next day. And so I was already at a 15% profit. So what I decided to do was just exit at 15%. And so you can see I exited at 355 for a 15% profit. So because of this situation where I'm in good profit over 15%, and the market's about to close, I added a new trigger or automation in my bot settings where if it is above 15% and the time is 3:50 p.m., it's automatically just going to close that position. I just don't want to run the risk of it gapping out of my favor the next day. All right, the next one, so it went up to 15%, activated the trailing stop, then came back down by 5%. So that was a 10% gain. So my stop loss here is negative 30%. So this is based on some other data that another trader is working on, and I'll show you that to you in just a little bit. And then finally, this trade right here, it only got into a little bit of profit before it just came back down. So this was a bullish iron fly, and it's that same situation as my day trading bot. It went up for a while, and then it just came back down pretty sharply, so it just got stopped out. This was a negative 20% stop loss. Okay, so over in the community section, for the directional iron fly trading bot, the original one, the 10-20, so the 10 strike wide, 10% profit target, 20% stop loss. A trader by the name of Stefan Wolf is actually running a series of tests using this iron fly, but adjusting the strike widths. So here's a 10 strike width versus a 7 strike width, and also adjusting the profit target. So a 10% profit target, 20% profit target, or 30% profit target, and also the stop losses. So 10% stop loss, 20% stop loss, 30% stop loss. And so he's been posting results every week, which is very, very helpful. So thank you very much for that, Stefan Wolf. Week 7 for the 10 strike wide iron flies, and you can see the 10-20-20 right here performs better than the 10-10-20, which is right here. So 760 in terms of total profit, 762 versus 502. But what he's also been showing is at the 10-20-30. So the 20% profit, 30% stop loss performs the best in terms of total P&L, 853 versus 762. And that happens both for the 10 strike wide as well as the 7 strike wide iron flies. Right here, the 2030 is 366, the 2020 is 351. So yes, the 2020 is very similar to the 2030, but in previous weeks, the 2030 was always the far superior one in terms of total P&L. So for at least one trade, I think maybe two, I was using the 2030, but the default setting right now is 2020 for me on this weekly challenge, or this October challenge. So back to that bot, here is that new trigger that I added. So close at the end of the day if profit is greater than 15%. So for every position, I'm going to be asking these questions. Is a position premium? Has it decreased by 15%, meaning that I'm at least 15% profit, and the position has been open for more than 0 days. That is, I did not open the position today. I don't want this to be a day trade. And if those are true, then it goes down the yes path and closes the position. Now, one thing I also want to add, and something that I took out of this 7-10-20 iron fly bot. Actually, let me just change this right now to 7-20-20 because that would be more accurate. So one thing that I did remove from this is in the exit options. So previously in the exit options, and let me move this back to 20, that will be the new default. This was unchecked, so it looked like this. Because I was thinking if it hit 10% that first day it opened, then I would just close it. But after combining this bot with my day trading bot, if this one happens to do a day trade, and I'm doing 3 day trades on my other bot, then I would have the PDT flag on my account. So I didn't want that. So what I did is just reactivate this or recheck it so that at least it waits 1 day. So I'm not going for 10% on the first day anymore. I'm just going to go for a flat 20%. And then what I'm going to do now, now that I'm thinking about it, is I'm going to activate this trailing stop at 10% of the credit instead of 15%. Therefore, I don't have my winners turning into losers. So we'll save that and save that. Okay, so that one's set for next week. Okay, another comment that I wanted to show you here, this is on the thread for the 1K challenge over on Option Alpha, is something, a very, very valid and good point made by Keith, talking about how aggressive the position sizing is for these bots, because I'm only using $1,000 in capital, but I'm pretty much using all of it every week. And so should I suffer too many losses, then, this plan will not be viable. So yeah, it is very high risk. And I should have mentioned that early on in my first introductory video. I wanted to show you what those risks were. And I do thank Keith for bringing this up because it reminds me to mention that. So I made this little chart in Google Sheets, and, each row, starting up here is a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of my first week. And these numbers right here in this row right here, these are the times, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, so on. So it basically it's just a calendar grid for Monday through Friday. And what I'm showing here is the risk that I'm taking on with each trade. So the trades that are in blue are my daily iron flies, and then the positions that are here in green, or these risks that are in green, are for the day trading bot. When they're overlapping, you can see right here, I'm using, and I'm just totaling the amount of risk. I'm using $946, or I'm risking $946 should these things take a full max loss. Risking $946. So these numbers down here that are colored green, orange, and red. So the closer it gets to $1,000, the more red it's going to be. So sort of like danger. I'm using a lot of risk. And you can see that on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, that's when it happens, because I have potentially three trades going on at one time. And so here, high risk, during this Wednesday, high risk, high risk. Here it goes over $1,000 because apparently I had enough capital to open all of these trades. But you can see, yeah, I'm definitely very, very close to my risk maximum. So it is very aggressive. I wanted to put this chart up just to show you what was going on and how much I'm risking. And that's pretty much the entire portion of this portfolio every single week. And so is that advisable? Probably not, but this is a challenge. This is not financial advice. This is just to see how far these bots can go with the money that I'm giving to it. So would I do this long term? No, definitely not. Again, it's just a challenge. I'm already running these bots live, and so I just thought I'd put some goals to it to see if I can attain those goals. The other thing that isn't really shown here, nor is it shown in option alpha, is how close I'm walking the line with day trades. So again, you can only trade 3 round trip trades in a 5 trading day period. So that's a rolling 5 trading day period. So I'm trading a day trade on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I cannot make another day trade on Friday, I'll get a PDT flag. I cannot make another trade on Monday, I'll get a PDT flag. So the next time I can make a day trade would be the next Tuesday. And then the next time I can make another day trade would be the following Wednesday. And that's because Tuesday, October 3rd's trade gets released back to me, so to speak, the next Tuesday. Wednesday's October 4th trade gets released back to my account the next Wednesday. Similarly, the one on October 5th gets released back to me on the 12th. Now, where this is going to become a problem, and I don't think we have it in the month of October, but where it becomes a problem is if there's a holiday, a market holiday, which is usually a Friday or a Monday. So let's say there was a holiday right here on Monday, and let's just make that yellow. That's not good. So let's say there's a market holiday this Monday. This Tuesday, October 10th day trade doesn't get released back to me the next Tuesday because this Monday doesn't count. So if I made another day trade right here on Tuesday, October 17th, my account would be PDT flagged. I'm only doing this for the month of October. This is not something you just want to keep running if your account is under $25,000. So that's something to keep in mind. It's another thing I should have mentioned in my first video, and I apologize for not doing that, but I do want to make mention of it here. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is just the trade log where I keep track of all of my trades. And you could see everything that I've done so far for this 1K challenge is recorded right here. They're all iron flies on SPY. Those are my strike prices. The expirations show up in various shades of red and getting darker and darker red the closer the expiration approaches in relationship to today's date. And then you can see my P&L right here. All right, so coming over to the dashboard, so 1K challenge for the month of October. Obviously I'm just starting this one in October. You can see it's not doing too well. So my first week I had, it was like 175 by the end of the week because that last trade had closed for a loss. But this week I pretty much gave back all those gains. So my total P&L is only $18.48. So not very good, but at least it's not red. So far my win rate is 62.5%, 10 wins, 6 losses. My average ROI is 1.28% per trade. My average P&L is $1.16 per trade. I'm holding them for about a day and a half, and my average P&L is $1.42 per day. So coming down here, the largest win, $94.28. My average win is $60.88. My largest loss is still the same, a negative $108.72, and my average loss is $98.39. So you can see again, all these bars down here that are red are days that I lost money overall. So I'm only doing shorts, so all 16 trades are short trades. I don't have any long trades. Average short trade is $1.16. Total fees I've paid so far this month are $11.52. So if you'd like a copy of this trade log, I sell this on my Etsy store. There's a link down in the description if you'd like to use it. So if you have any questions, then please leave a comment down below or catch me over on Option Alpha. If you'd like to try out Option Alpha, there's also a link down below in the description. So until next time, trade wisely and take care.